Hi you guys, it's Julianne and Brooklyn. I was going to try and do this video while she was hanging out in her swing, but she didn't seem to like it very much, so I'm going to see how well she does, just me holding her, doing this whole video, because it's going to be a long one, so I might need to do it in segments and piece it together depending upon how she handles it. Anyways, I wouldn't say that this video was wildly requested or anything, but I did have a few people say, hey, you should do one of these types of videos. I have so many friends, and not necessarily friends that are near me, but like a lot of even like old friends or just people I know on Facebook that are pregnant right now. And I thought that I would do this, not that I'm any expert on motherhood, or babies, or stuff like that, but I did go through it. I did labor and deliver a baby, and now I've kept her alive this long, so I got to know a few things, and a lot of the stuff I'm going to share is just my personal opinion or what I've found to work for myself and Jason and Brooklyn. And every baby is different, every mother is different, every pregnancy is different, so a lot of the things that you'll hear me say might not apply to you or might not be something that you'll want to do. But I'm just going to share my personal experience thus far and things that maybe you can take away from it and learn. So first off, I'm going to start with just like my labor and delivery and my experience in the hospital and stuff like that. I personally was the type of person that was extremely comfortable with anyone being in the room. I didn't care that everyone was in there. In fact, it actually made me feel better. They all respected me a lot, and they weren't like shouting or anything like that, but the whole process of like while I was dilating from 6 centimeters all the way up to 10, I probably had anywhere between half a dozen to a dozen people in and out of my room the whole time. So that is just how I was. I'm guessing the majority of people, of women, are going to have to just grow a pair and tell your family, hey, I'm in labor and I don't want anyone in here right now. But I guess what my advice would be is to have a plan. And don't be afraid to talk to your family members about it beforehand. If you have a lot of family close to you, and a lot of them are planning on being at the hospital, when you deliver, make sure that you set up sort of your guidelines and stuff from the very beginning, so that you don't have to try and figure it out in the moment. Yes, and be sure to just kind of discuss that even with like your nurses. Like your nurses or your nurse, however many you have, is your lifeline. And pray really hard that you get someone you like. I was very fortunate, and I got the most phenomenal nurse ever. I mean, I was in the hospital for a really long time, so I had several nurses, especially even through my labor. But I'm not going to go through like a hospital bag or, things to bring to the hospital. I think a lot of that is really self-explanatory. Don't overpack. I mean, I personally, I lived in just the gown that they gave me, and the gown that they gave me was very conducive for breastfeeding. It actually had two funny like slits in the front of it. That you could easily kind of close and then open for breastfeeding if that's something you're planning on doing. And I lived in that. Like, I did bring a pair of my own pajamas. You're okay. You're okay. You want to bounce? I did bring a pair of my own pajamas, but remember that after you have a baby, you're bleeding a lot. And again, this is going to be a TMI video, so if you don't want to hear this stuff, don't watch it. Yeah, and even though you might be more comfortable in your pajamas, they're going to get ruined. So, one thing, maybe bring a pair of slippers, because, and it depends on, like, if you're having your baby in the winter or in the summer. Mine was in the summer, and so, like, I pretty much didn't want to wear anything. I would have rather just laid there naked, but that wasn't really an option. And take all the advice you possibly can and all the help you possibly can. Like, don't feel bad if you just want to do everything on your own from the very beginning, like if your hospital has a nursery like mine did, and right after you deliver, and you can send your baby to the nursery so that you can get some rest, do it. I had second thoughts at first. I was like, no, I'm her mother, and I should be the one taking care of her, and I'm not going to hand her off to someone else. But my body at that point was so exhausted that I probably would have dropped her if I tried to pick her up, or, something like that. Like, I was so weak. But my labor was like 30 hours long or something like that. So I had been up for almost 3 days, and it was just, yeah. Anyways, let's see. That is, oh, no. What I was going to say is I'm going to show you mothers-to-be a product that I have come to, like, worship. My hair gets greasy really, really fast, really easy. Like, my hair is very fine and thin, and I sweat a lot, and so my hair just gets so greasy so fast, and I hate the way it feels, and I hate the way it looks. And when you have a new baby, you don't have the opportunity to take showers as often, or even just wash your hair under the sink. It's difficult to get stuff like that in. So I have found this product. It is dry shampoo, and I've always I don't want to hit you. I've always heard about it before, but I never actually went out and used it. And this is the stuff I use. It's Suave dry shampoo spray, and they also have dry conditioner. I haven't tried that, but if you have lots of tangles or stuff like that, I'm sure that would work really well too. But you just have to shake it up really, really well. Make sure you shake it up really, really well, and spray it maybe like anywhere between 3 and 6 inches away from your head. And the only places I spray it is right here around my face where it gets really greasy, and maybe down my part line where it also gets kind of greasy. And when it first sprays on your hair, it's like white. It looks like you just spray painted your hair white. So you have to rub it in really well to get rid of that ashy color. So you just like rub your fingers into it really well until it like dissolves into your hair, and it's clean. It's like you just washed your hair, and it smells amazing. And it makes you feel awesome, and you didn't have to try and take a shower. All you had to do was go in the bathroom and spray your hair. And I wear my hair up a lot anyways, but still, even greasy hair doesn't look very good worn up. So that I took with me everywhere. Let's see. Also, a boppy pillow. It's not actually the brand name Boppy Pillow, but it's the same thing. You don't have to spend a fortune. I got mine from a friend, and I'm pretty sure it came from Walmart, and it's not like $50 like the ones at Babies R Us. I think it's like $25. And I would suggest, though, getting lots of sheet like covers for it. I, at this point, only have one cover for it, but I have to take it off and wash it all the time because it gets dirty. But that is something I wish I would have brought with me to the hospital. Instead, I spent the 3 days while I was at the hospital trying to prop her up and my arms up and my boobs up on pillows, hospital pillows, and it was just such a pain all the time. And you use that for more than just breastfeeding. Like, it's a perfect pillow to try and sleep with even before you have the baby, just because, like, a lot of you, I'm sure, already know how uncomfortable it is to try and sleep before you have a baby. So that is rough. And another thing. I would suggest when you're at about 37 weeks, when you're really considered full term, that's what they consider it nowadays anyways, 37 weeks, because your baby could come at any time. Stock up your pantry. Like, not just your pantry, but your pantry and your freezer, and make sure you have lots of bottled water or even Gatorade, because you are probably going to be shut up in your apartment or your house or wherever you live ours is our apartment, that's why I said that. For at least a week, you know, you're not going to want to be going anywhere, and even if your significant other, your husband or whatever, is like, oh no, I'll just run to the store or something, like, they're not going to want to. You guys are going to be very low on sleep, and you just need like quick, easy meals. And yes, a lot of people are fortunate and have meals like brought to them, or I mean, it probably wouldn't even hurt to just like make a lasagna or something and put it in the freezer so that you can just throw it in and have it ready, because you are not going to want to cook anything unless it can be microwaved and ready in minutes. So, and definitely just like snacky things, because especially after you have a baby, I completely lost my appetite. Like, it was really hard for me to eat after having her. She's tired. I can tell she hasn't taken her morning nap yet. But if you're breastfeeding, and I probably didn't do this well enough, which is why I wasn't able to breastfeed. My milk supply just didn't come in enough to solely just breastfeed her. But my appetite was really bad. Not that I was eating bad stuff, I just wasn't eating much at all. And I was really, really pumping the fluids because I was still so swollen. And so if you are dealing with swelling, like in your feet or hands or face, the number one best way to get rid of swelling is to drink lots and lots and lots of water, and until you feel sick, honestly. And it probably took me a good 2 to 3 weeks for the swelling to even start to go down. But once it did, it was just, oh, you just feel so much better. And that's probably about when my appetite started coming back too. But eat as much as you can, you know, because your baby needs that too still. Like, you are still feeding your baby. And, you know, obviously, you know, vitamin-rich foods and foods that are healthy and things that are going to help your milk supply. Not like me, because I didn't do very well at that. So I would definitely suggest that. And then when you come home from the hospital, the day you are released, I mean, don't steal, but like, the hospital, you are paying for that. And you should be able to take absolutely almost everything out of that room and home with you. So at the hospital that we were at, they're like, take anything you want except for the linens. And we did sneak a blanket in. I didn't do it. My mother-in-law did. But it was like the first blanket that she ever got wrapped up in, and oh, she's falling asleep. It was the first blanket that she ever got wrapped up in. And so I'm so glad that we snuck it out. But so I'm not suggesting that you steal things, but like the baby soap, we are still using 2 months later the soap that the hospital uses. It's like a creamy baby wash that's really, really, really gentle, and a little like brush thing for in the bathtub, and like little washcloths and stuff that they sent us with, and like a syringe, and you know, like all of those things that they put in your room for you, you take home with you. Okay, so definitely bring like an extra bag that you're going to just bring all those things home with, because those are things, I mean, they'll even send you home with diapers and stuff like that. It's just, so don't be afraid to, when you're cleaning up your room and packing all your stuff, to take a couple things for you and baby. And definitely for your bleeding, unless you have stuff prepared at home. I was bleeding a lot, like not even just a big maxi pad was going to do the trick. Like, you literally have to wear diapers. A friend of mine suggested Depends, which I never even thought of, but that sounds like a phenomenal idea. So yes, I would probably go out and buy a big package of Depends. I think I'm actually going to cut this into 2 videos. So that is this is going to sort of be like my getting ready for the hospital and coming home video, and then I will go into having a newborn at home video. Let me think of anything else. Don't be afraid to tell family, no, you cannot come over and visit yet. When you have just had a baby, and whether it's C-section, especially if it's a C-section, I didn't have a C-section, but I can imagine that would be taxing on your body as well. Like, you have to heal from that a long time, and as much as you want to show your baby off, and you need your rest so much. Like, I cannot stress that enough. And I'm the type of person where I do enjoy sleeping. I'm not gonna say that I don't, but I did just want to like show her off and have people over, and then afterwards I'm just like, wow, I wish I would have just asked them to wait, just like a few days even. I at some point, and I think too, postpartum depression, I think, is a very real thing, or just baby blues, I guess you can call it. I think that there are a lot of factors, a lot of things that factor into it, though. I personally didn't experience anything after I had her. I had some, I think, during the pregnancy, actually. But I think there are more things that factor into it than just your hormones. The fact that you are tired or in pain or you're stressed out, like you're experiencing things that you've never experienced your whole life. And so it's very, very easy to just become sort of self-absorbed also, and to just worry, and you find yourself extremely emotional. And so definitely, as much as I say, like, to keep the family at bay, as well also, though, include them in, like, if you feel emotionally unstable and stuff, I mean, I'm sure that your significant other is going to get the brunt of that, but that's okay. Like, you don't have to be super mom, and you don't have to be perfect. Everyone has a first time of doing this, and you just gotta learn as you go. It's so weird. Like, all of the things that I was afraid about, that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. When you have your baby, you have no choice. You have to do it. And when you do, it becomes easier and easier and easier until it's just totally second nature. So I think I'm going to go lay her down for her morning nap, and then I will record my other video, and I'm going to just share everything I have learned about keeping a little baby alive. Alright, thanks guys for watching.